Welcome back to the Avenue. It is another beautiful Tuesday and just happy that you're here with me today. On this channel, we simply talk about topics that make money make sense. And today it's going to be one of those days, a fine topic that just makes money make sense. And the big announcement today is I am changing my entire investment strategy. Yes, over the years, I've studied money. I've learned about money, learned about investments, learned about stock market, learned about real estate, learned about all of that stuff. And I've come to the conclusion at this point in time, when you get into your 40s, 50s, and 60s, now is the time to simplify things. Just have the things that you really need. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to tell you what I've thought about, what I'm changing, what I'm keeping the same, but it's going to be eye-opening for you and give you some pointers to think about. You may want to shift some things in your investment strategy yourself. Stay tuned for this one.
She's a go-getter, all right. What a beautiful sight. Anything she sets her mind to, she stays on it day and night. She writes the checks, she signs the deeds. She plants the fruitful seeds and still finds the time to meet all her family needs.
Now, up front, let's get this straight. I'm not doing this because I'm scared. I'm not doing this because the economy is falling apart. That's not the reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this because my priorities have shifted a bit and I just want things to be simpler. I want to do things that I enjoy more. You know, over the time of the journey that I've been on, at the very beginning, there is a heavy accumulation status that you go into. When you're younger, you want to accumulate as much money as possible, get the money in there. And I would encourage all the young people to accumulate as much as possible. But you come to a time in your life where the accumulation, you still want to accumulate. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to accumulate what I can, but I'm not going after it like that. I'm not just focusing strictly on accumulating. I want to enjoy. I want to simplify things. I don't want to be stressed out about a whole lot of stuff, right? So I'm going to do some things and change some strategies that will benefit me and my lifestyle now and my priorities, such as, first topic we're going to talk about is the stock market. Okay, in the stock market, my bases are ETFs. That's where, the money is. That's where my basis is. And so that's where I have my ETFs. There are tons and tons of ETFs out there, you guys, exchange traded funds. So there are tons of them out there, right? And they're growing more and more each day. I heard a stat that said that there's more ETFs than there are stocks. I don't know if that's true or not, but you have a lot to choose from. And the ETFs covers a sector of areas that you may want to focus in, such as if you want high tech ETFs, you can go out there and get those. If you want medical ETFs, you can go get those. If you want any kind of ETFs out there, there's some for you. And so you can go get those. My focus with ETFs is I'm going to stick with either 3 or 4. I'm not going to have a whole myriad of ETFs covering a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to have the basic ones. I'm going to have some that pay dividends. I'm going to have some that focus on the tech area, and then I'm going to have some that focuses a little closer on the higher producing tech area stock, right? But you can get medical ones, you can get all kinds of ones out there. So, but my focus right now are the ones that's going to make me the most money in those sectors that I want to be in, right? Now, as far as the stock that I have, I looked at my stock market and account, and there are a lot of stocks on there. A lot of stocks that I've made money off of, a lot of stocks that I don't feel like I need or want to keep up with anymore. And so I'm going to reevaluate each of the companies to see if I want to stay with this stock or if not. Now, there are some stocks that I'm going to stay with because I bought them for long-term purposes. There are some that I was just trying out. Those are the ones that I'm going to reevaluate and decide that, do I want to stay with this stock, or do I want to move on to something else? I'll give you a tip. This is not a recommendation. This is not stock advice. But I'm heavily invested in NVIDIA. I love NVIDIA. I'm heavily invested in Apple. So those are some of the things that I'm invested in. Not saying that you need to go and invest in those, But those are my long-term plays. They have made me money. I'm sticking with those and continue with those because most of the times when I buy stock, I buy it for the long term. I don't buy it for the short term. So, but that is not investment advice. This is for informational purposes only. This is what Adrian is doing. You do what's best for you, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing with the stock market. Now let's turn to real estate. Real estate is another area, and I have properties that I'm looking at right now. I have one that I'm my own property, a rental property that's in renovation because I'm getting ready to actually sell it. I'm going to sell it and take the money, 1031 exchange it, which I don't have to pay taxes on, over into another property. That property I've had for about 22 years or so. So it's an older property. It was giving me great cash flow as far as the people that were living in it. So, you know, it's paid for. So that amount that was coming in, less taxes, less minor repairs, less insurance, and the rest of the money belonged to me. So it's been good. It's been paid off. It's been good. It's been giving me money. I've been putting money back into as tenants move out, renovating the bathrooms and doing certain things like that. Now it's at the point where I want to focus more on appreciation, properties that are in growing areas that are appreciating. And here in the Austin area, in the surrounding areas, because I'm not buying in Austin, but in the surrounding areas, there are some areas that are focused and primed to grow. They're already growing. However, because it's somewhat of a buyer's market right now, I can go out and I could purchase a new property with the money that I'm bringing over from the property that I'm getting ready to sell, purchase that new property and be in a cash flow situation as well as an appreciation situation, right? So that property will start appreciating in value. And so that's what I want to focus more on. The property that I bought 22 years ago did appreciate in value, but it was a slow appreciation because in that area, it was more of a cash flow thing. I'm switching and repositioning to appreciation. And because I have that equity in there, I can take that money, put it over into another property that's going to make me more money as far as appreciation is going in a growth area and not have to pay a lot of money out of my pocket if I pay any at all, and it will still cash flow for me. So I'm looking at things like that as far as what I'm doing to reposition my whole investment strategy. So hopefully some of this makes sense. Something that maybe you want to think about if you're in the situation that I'm in. Everybody's not in this situation, but if you're in the situation that I'm in, turning over old properties for newer ones because the market is right. The prices are right. Now, if the prices were sky high, I wouldn't be doing this. But it's a buyer's market. The prices are right. These builders are willing to make deals. If there's a house sitting on the market, they're willing to make deals, come down in the price of the house. I'm a realtor. I'm going to get the compensation for the house. I can throw that back into the house. All kinds of things. They may offer even more money on the compensation, right? I benefit from that. So hopefully this all makes sense to you. But I had to sit down and just look at everything that I was doing and, you know, what was stressing me out, what I wanted to move to make things a lot easier for me, a lot more comfortable for me, but made sense, right? And still made me money. I have a few more things that I'm going to tell you about what I'm repositioning and changing my strategy on. But before we get there, hit that like button and that subscribe button because I want you to be here on this channel getting all this rich information as long as I'm able to produce it for you. So hit the like button and the subscribe button so that you can be here to get this information. Next up, I am reevaluating my whole team. Who is on the team? My financial professionals. I have people that's managing my money. Now, the stock market that I told you about earlier, that's the stuff I'm invested in. I'm managing it. I'm making decisions on that. I have a whole other team that's managing my money from my 401k that came from the job that I used to work at. So I'm reevaluating that, you all. I'm looking at the fees I'm being charged. I'm looking at the money that they're making me just to see. I've been with them a couple of years. It's Empower is the company that I'm currently with. I've been with them a couple of years, and so I need to sit down and reevaluate to see, hey, am I happy with them? Am I happy with paying the fees that they're charging me? Is it something else out there that I need to look at, talk to see if I need to move my money over there? I'm reevaluating everything. Another area that I'm reevaluating is my doctors, my primary care doctor, my gynecologist, all of those folks. I'm reevaluating to see, do I still need to stick with them, or is there someone else better out there? And I will tell you that I have changed my primary care doctor. The one that I was with, she and I didn't see eye to eye on certain things. And since I was paying her to be my doctor, I had to make a decision. My gynecologist actually retired, so I shifted to another gynecologist. I haven't gone to her yet, but I heard she's excellent. I will see how that works out. So I'm changing that. A couple of other areas that I'm looking at changing is my nutritionist. I like to hear about the things that I should be eating to make my body healthier, to keep me healthy. And if there's anything that flares up in a blood test, some things, supplements, and the foods that I need to be feeding myself that will help take care of that, make that situation better. And so I'm looking at my nutritionist. I had one, she was great. She took me to a certain level, but I found out about another person that actually helps you get to optimal health. And so I'm going to try him for a little bit. I've already met with him once and liked his style, liked the things that he talked about. So I'm reevaluating that. Anything that's going to help Adrian totally, because it's not just about the money. When it comes to my strategies for life, strategies for investing, because I'm investing in myself by going to these people, but I want the best people on my team. And that's what I'm looking at right now. So I would say evaluate everything, question everything, even some of the groups that I've been in as far as coaching groups and stuff like that. I'm reevaluating. Do I still need to be there? Do I need to do something different? Do I need to go somewhere else? Is there something else that I need that I don't have right now? So I'm evaluating everything. And, there you have it. Those are the things I'm reevaluating as opportunities come up. I want to be able to say yes or no with my schedule, or yes or no with the folks that I'm working with. But I want the highest quality people on my side, and if that's to pay a little bit more for them, because these nutritionists, you guys, they're no joke. They charge quite a bit, but they've studied and they know what they're talking about. And if I'm getting the results that I'm paying for, I'm good paying for it. I'll pay all day long for it. But if I'm not getting the results, or if I see that I can get a better result somewhere else, I'm going to try that out. So there you have it. I'm reevaluating even those people on my team. In this shift, I've actually shifted to a new definition of wealth, slightly new definition of wealth. And to me, wealth is not about how much you own, but how much that ownership owns you. So if there are things stressing me out because I own it, or if I can't get away, if I always have to be constantly working in the business, or if it's something that I'm dreading I have to do, I need to look at those things and decide, do I still want to keep doing that, or is it something else that I can do that will have minimal of my time? At this point, I need to spend time with my folks. I need to spend time traveling, doing other things that I want to do. And I don't want to be tied down by things. Like one of my properties, I actually handed over to a property manager. I didn't want to make that trip traveling down the road, an hour just to get there to handle things. So I turned it over to the property manager and they're handling things, right? So I get a check from them. And it's not as much as I could get if I was doing it myself, but to take the pressure out and to know that if things happen or whatever, they're messing with the tenant, they're handling whatever's going on in the house, and they're reporting back to me. That's where I want to be. So there is a switch in mindset, a switch in how these investments are affecting me. If I'm controlling the investments, or are the investments controlling me? That was a question that I had to answer. And once I got the answer to that question, I was good. Let me do what I need to do at this point in time, and spend my time the way I want, spend my freedom the way I want to spend it, while still having money come in. So But be straight. If an opportunity comes up, I'm not saying that I'm retired and I'm not going to at least evaluate to see, do I want to do something with that opportunity? As opportunities come up, I'm going to evaluate them and say yes or no based on how they're going to affect me and my lifestyle and what's priority for me at this point in time. Another area that I want to make sure I'm straight in, and I hope you make sure you're straight in, is protecting what you have, protecting your assets, which may mean having a cash reserve for some of this stuff, right? I know on the properties I have to pay taxes, I have to pay insurance every year, whether they're paid off or whether I'm paying on them, I have to still pay that. So I need to have a cash reserve for that. And if something happens to go wrong with the houses, I have to have a cash reserve for that, as well as my personal. I have to have an emergency fund, security fund, protection fund, whatever you want to call it, to protect my cash flow coming into my house. So I want to make sure that I'm still doing that in this mindset and in this shift in repositioning things as far as investments. So with this economy that we're in now, you guys, it's vitally important for you to have a heavy cash reserve and put it into a high yield savings account. But have that money there just in case you need it, just in case something comes up. So, and you can only know what that cash reserve is for you. Figure it out, sit down, figure out what's going to make me sleep better at night, what's going to make me feel better, what's going to be the protection that I feel like I need for my assets. That's what I want you to look at, and that's what I'm doing personally for myself. Bottom line is I have changed my investment strategy, and it's not because I've lost confidence. It's because I've gained clarity. I want to be simplify things, and I want to be even more intentional in my investment strategy. So once you gain that clarity, you guys, you can move in a different direction. You can move in the way that you want to move in because you know what you want your future to look like. You know, there's a time to build, there's a time to accumulate, there's a time to optimize, there's a time to protect and enjoy. And so as we go through these financial stages on the journey to wealth, you decide what you want your future life to look like. And whatever it is, that's where you start shifting and moving toward your future strategy, right? So once you're clear, once you gain that clarity, you can optimize and go in the direction that you want to go in to create the kind of thing that you want to create for yourself and for your future, right? And with that, I will see you in the next video.
Go Adrian. Humble, go get a bless. Let's go.